Hello, everybody. If you're just joining us, we have about 85 participants, only 15 short of 100. Please make sure you are letting your teammates know that this morning we have an amazing speaker with us here today. Again, I'm your host, Abhi Kaushik, and our speaker for the day is none other than Mr. Michael Huggins. Now, before getting started with Renatus, Michael was working 2 consecutive low-wage jobs at Jiffy Lube and Sears Auto Center. He was covered in oil, was working himself to death, worked like a mule. But about 8.5 years ago, Michael got invited down to a Renatus event, just like a lot of us did. And he was able to see value in it right away. But the problem was he didn't have the money to get started. Now, that didn't stop him. He actually got very creative, asked his girlfriend's mother for money to borrow, who initially said no, but after continuous follow-up and showing value in the service, she finally agreed. Now, after getting started with Renatus, he plugged in, he started doing deals, and now he's grown his team across his nation. And fast forward 8.5 years, today Michael is a 7-figure income earner, grown his team across the nation, and is a PAC member. So today we're fortunate enough to have Michael Huggins as our trainer. So without further ado, I'd like to bring on the line Michael Huggins. Hey, Michael, how are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing great, Abhi. Thanks for setting this up. And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the call. We got 91 folks on here. Let's push to over 100 today as we share how to make millions from our couch. Hashtag results aren't typical. Good morning, everybody. All right, let's get this party started. I am in Tennessee right now. I know that's weird to some of you. And I am in the middle of the deal. Vanessa and I found a killer deal. And because of how good we got at marketing and being able to talk on the phone and listen to people's problems and just pitch stuff over the phone, we were able to pitch our idea, and we're picking up this amazing piece of property on a discount with seller financing. It's incredible. So we're just buttoning up our due diligence down here, and I want to applaud Mr. Mike Lawrence and his team down here in the Nashville area, because I'm crazy. Then I said, I want to do a meeting here, but I can't do it on a Friday or a Saturday or a Monday. So they're like, wait a minute, you want to host a meeting on a Sunday? That's the only day I can do it. And in case you didn't know, Tennessee is right in the Bible Belt where church is like an everything. You got to go to church. And then here we are working a meeting into the schedule on a Sunday with less than a week's notice. I basically told them on Monday, I'm going to be here and I want to do a meeting on Sunday. And with all of the short timing, plus I had Mike meet me at the property so we could do some due diligence together, which took about 4 hours to walk everything. What Mike did with his team in a handful of days is put together a house tour with 33 people. Now, their last intensive, they had 8 people. So at our workshop yesterday in Tennessee, in Nashville, we had 33 people in the house, crammed in. It was awesome. Mike's looking at making about $100,000 on this property. And we got an order in the system yesterday, and we're taking the steps. I just want to applaud Mike and the team for creating that training opportunity for me, but also opening up so many people's eyes that day. It's awesome. So it doesn't matter the schedule. It doesn't matter what superstitions are in your area. I know a lot of people have superstitions based off of Hawaii or Seattle or California or Utah or this or that. There's all these superstitions, but they're not real. Again, we just demolished another superstition again. Some people are operating, oh no, we can't run a business and have a meeting on a Sunday. But we just proved them wrong. Okay? Don't fall into superstitions. Get to work. Stay focused on what you can do, not falling into other people's weaknesses and stories about what you can't do. We don't live in that can't world. All right. So let me just make a change here. Sweet. Okay. So Super excited about working with the Tennessee team, growing some peeps. I got my own guest checking the system out because why not? All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, I'm going to switch over to my whiteboard here. The next thing we're talking about, here we go, is Super Saturday. Super Saturday in SLC for 413. If you are within a 2-hour flight or an 8-hour drive from Salt Lake City on this date, you should be in Salt Lake City on this day. Bring your team, get a guest going, and make some money while you're here, but also the kind of training and the shortcuts that Vanessa and I have been working on to help more people make more money in less time while having fun. That's the theme for this Saturday. More money, more fun in less time. That's the theme. More money, more fun in less time. I've been looking at some IMAs and been wondering, why aren't they plugging into what we're doing? And I give them a call and I ask, what are you working on? What are you doing? And they're like, oh man, I'd love to plug in with you, but I'm so busy doing these things and I don't have very much money and it's not very fun. But as soon as I figure it out, then I'll plug into what you're doing. And I'm like, well, this is how you're marketing Renatus. This is how I'm marketing Renatus. Why? What are you waiting for? What? I don't understand. This doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me why some people are sticking to their busy, no money, no fun schedule when I've clearly showed them a million different ways of how to have fun and make more money while doing it in less time. So that's the theme. Let's get away from, oh, I'm too busy to go to Super Saturday and I don't have any money to go do this other thing and it's no fun. If that's your world, you're doing it wrong. That's not how Bob Snyder designed this. That's not how this was all set up. You shouldn't be consuming your schedule and you shouldn't be scraping by while having no fun. You got it all backwards. So let's fix that. Super Saturday, Vanessa and I are going to show you how to do it. The plan is 9 to 5. We will most likely end early. I don't want to keep you all day, but I do need more than the 9 to 1 to share everything with you that we've been working on. So rally the troops. We got 108 people on the call now. That's awesome. And if each one of you show up and bring a guest, we're pushing 250 people. Let's make it happen. Spread the word. Okay, so while we're on the topic of house tours, I want to just talk about what we learned, what we're going to do better next time, and how to maximize on a house tour. And good news, you could do it any day of the week. Okay, we got house tours on Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We got house tours on Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays. It doesn't matter what day. Pick your day, teach your team what day it is, and let's get to work. So the simple format for a house tour. There's a 1-hour house tour and there's a 2-hour house tour. If you want to make a lot of money, I recommend the 2-hour house tour. 1 hour it's too easy for someone to go in and out and not grab the information. It's too easy for someone to justify, oh, I'm just stopping by, I want to look and then leave, and not have them actually sit down with us in the kitchen or whatever and do our quick little workshop so they see who we are, how much it costs to get involved, more numbers on the deal, all of that stuff. It's way easier if you put it into the context of a workshop and you tell people 2 hours. Okay? So, with that being said, we set the frame. set the frame or set the expectation. And the frame is we're going to do a 30-minute tour and then about a 1-hour workshop. So to the IMAs, we are budgeting 2 hours. To the guests, what we're telling them is, hey, show up. The first 30 minutes, we're going to give you a tour of the property to show you what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're so successful, the ins and outs. So be on time for that. Then after that, we're going to break down the numbers. We're going to show you how to get involved with us, what we do, how we do it, why we're so successful, the other resources, and we're going to teach you a concept. So in the workshop, there's going to be a concept that they're going to learn. Most of the time, the concept is velocity banking because it is applicable to everyone in the room, right? If we teach them creative acquisitions and the person doesn't have a real estate mindset yet, it's not worth it. Or if we try to teach them, the ins and outs of the rehab, we tell them, hey, this is how we raise capital. This is how we structured our LLC. If we go into some concept like that, it's not applicable to everyone, and then you get some people checking out. But velocity banking applies to all. It's an idea that they can take away and start working right now, and then they're hooked. They got so much value that they want to come back to the next one. Okay, this concept, whatever it is that we're teaching, that's the value. So the tour is value. The idea that we're going to share is value. Now we have a value exchange because we asked for their time, but we gave them some value. So we're always staying ahead of the exchange. Does that make sense? If we're going to ask them for time, we need to exchange it with value. We can't just take some time and hope to build a business. It's going to ruin your reputation. So our value, ideas, concepts, information, that's the value. They're giving us their time, that's the value. So it's always a value exchange. I also recommend that you do the full pillars presentation. Right? Give everyone the price, give everyone all the context, do it quickly, and then get back to the concept. And then always, which Mike did a great job, is a BAM fam. Always book a meeting from a meeting. So we got another workshop on April 20th, and he's building for that while we were at that meeting. This was a good, really good workshop. Now, what we did is we didn't have a PowerPoint. We didn't have a projector and slides and all that. We had a black marker, a green marker, and a whiteboard. And that's all you need. That is all you need to make millions. So what we taught them, and this is why I want you to start running your own house tours. You don't need a million people to help you do it. You just decide, get an IMA going, and book some guests. Get it going. When you're in front of your whiteboard, what I recommend you do is the EPIC presentation. Okay. EPIC stands for education. So then what I do is I break it down and I say, folks, there's two kinds of education in our country. There's financial education and then there's academic education. What are most people getting right now? Academic. Does academic education help finances? Not really. And so we kind of get into it and say, I'll give you an example. We work with people who have bachelor's, master's, PhDs. It doesn't matter what your academic education is. If you don't understand the definition of the word asset, let's do that real quick. Hey, everybody, what's the definition of the word asset? And when you put it out to the crowd, it's perfect because some people are going to say, oh, it's something of value. Oh, it's something that has worth. It's something that appreciates. And I'll remind them, hey, everyone, what you're doing is you're using an academic definition for a financial word. What is the financial definition of an asset? Something that pays me. That is the financial definition. Now, everyone, think about your life for a second. Do you have assets? Do you have something that pays you? Do you have a financial asset or just academic assets? And then they go, dang. So they're starting to get it. So that's what we emphasize on. Is, hey, if you have financial education versus academic education, the world is your oyster. The country is yours to make whatever you want from it. Then, once you get your point across there, then we go to P for properties. So it's really easy when you're standing in one to say, here we are in one of the properties, part of our plan. So there are two kinds of properties that we work with. There's the massive income type properties and the passive income type properties. So everyone, what do you think this property is? Is this a massive income or passive income property? And everyone goes, oh, this one's massive. He's making 50 grand per side. It's 100 grand on the deal. Okay, so now we know we can make chunk money, we can make big money, or we can make recurring money. We need to do both in order to be financially stable. And people go, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, you picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah. All right, let's move on to I now. I stands for income. I stands for income. And then I'll put it in context here and I'll say, hey, has anyone ever recommended someone to a restaurant and they're like, oh man, you got to try this, and then they go and try it and they spend their money and they have a good time? Yeah. Has anyone ever recommended someone to a movie? Right? They go over there, they spend their money, and they go watch this thing, and they said it was totally worth it. Have you ever done that before? Had someone do that to you? Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so we actually make recommendations all the time, don't we? Well, let me ask you this next thing. Okay, so I don't write this down. I'm going to write it here just so you guys can remember what I'm talking about, but I don't write that on the board. So far, what I've written on the screen, what I write on the board, I'm going to write this in blue here, or yeah. So first thing is I ask everyone about recommendations. Well, that's, there we go. Right, I ask people, have you ever made a recommendation to something before? And someone listen. Or have you ever had a recommendation of checking out a place, right? Checking out a movie, even your next phone, right? You ask people, hey, what's your phone? What do you like? What are you getting? People are always making recommendations. So now I've got the crowd understanding that they make recommendations and they listen to recommendations. Yeah, oh yeah, all the time. Okay, great. Well, my next question is, how did you hear about us? And I'll go just take a quick sample around the room, right? How did you hear about us? My friend, how did you hear about us? My coworker, how did you hear about us? Facebook, how did you hear about us? My friend. They go, oh, okay, so our friends are referring or making recommendations to us. Okay. And I'll ask, did anybody hear us on the radio or see us on the freeway on a billboard? Why do you think we're friends are recommending it and you're not seeing some traditional marketing in a magazine or something? It's because people love what we offer and you can make money while you're doing it. Here's what I mean. Bob Snyder is a genius. So this is what I then write out. So I got income, and then I say, Bob Snyder's a genius because he has married real estate investing with personal development. There is risk and reward to getting into real estate. That's why we're doing it, right? There's a risk there, but there's also a bigger reward. That's why we go for it. But with personal development, you don't risk much, and the reward is just as high as real estate. The key to both of these, and this is what I write down, the key to both of these is skills. Skill development. You got to get good. The same skills to be successful in a personal development business are the same skills you need to be successful in a real estate investing business. Same skills. So we develop skills. I want you to write this down. Everyone, grab your notebook, grab your paper, whatever. Hey, everyone, great news. Every business skill is learnable. Isn't that great news? Hey, everyone, every business skill is learnable. So all the skills you need to be successful in real estate, we're going to teach you how to do it in our personal development program. While you can still make money, you can free up some time to quit your job, and then you'll develop the skills. And then I anchor it back. And I say, the reason I'm here this weekend is I'm looking at a property. But how I'm able to buy it, a $500,000 property for only $75 out of pocket, is because I have the skills developed from working with people. And guess who's selling me the property? A person, people. So you got to get the people skills down. And we're going to teach you how to do that. And when you get it right, you're going to make a boatload of money with us. Now, it's typical, our results aren't typical, but I'm looking around the room here. I don't see any typical people. Are you typical? Everyone says no. And I say, all right. So this is what Bob has done. He's been able to help us build our skills so that when you get out in the real estate world, we already know what we're doing and we can jump on properties and say, let them go to someone else. He's a genius that way. And then the last part, the C, is our community. The community. And then I'll ask who's ever hosting the house tour, how did you find out about this property? How did you meet your realtor? How did you meet your attorney? How did you meet your contractor? How did you meet your anything, your money lender? How did you find all this stuff? And we'll relate it back to the community. And we'll say, all right, so when you guys get involved with us, we're going to have weekly group coaching. You can plug into the community. We're going to have daily phone calls. You can plug into the community. We do workshops where we broadcast different things from all over the nation, and you will meet with your community when you go. It's an incredible system. So I've laid this out, and then on the other part of the whiteboard, I do the 4 pillars: taxes, banking, business, and real estate. That's how everyone is divided into 2. These are the keep your money classes. These are the build your money classes. I like simple things. I'm not here to make anything complicated or sophisticated, but I like simple. So I like keep and I like build. Is everyone cool with that? Yes. Okay. So how Bob has designed it is all of the keep classes are $19.97. All the build classes are $17.997. So what I did is I spent $20,000. I got this education, revolutionized my life. Mike did the same thing. Randy did the same thing. Doug did the same thing. And I'm just pointing out a few community members saying, look, we put our money into financial education. Look what we're getting now. And then I anchor it right back. Now, if you make a recommendation and you send someone to us and they decide to take all those keep the money classes and you made that recommendation, you will earn $1,000. And if they decide to buy the build your money classes, Renatus will send you $9,000. And I let that sink in for about 5 seconds. I'm silent. And then my next question is, how many $10,000 checks do you need to have a good month? Have a good month. And I wait for an answer. It's not a facetious question. I'm really asking the crowd. How many $10,000 checks do you need to have a good month? And someone breaks the silence. 1. That's right. You make 1 referral a month, you make $120,000 a year. What are you capable of? How many checks do you need in order for you to walk away from your job? 4, 5, 6. If you don't have your job, is it easier to do real estate? Is it easier to take the trainings online? Is it easier to plug into community events? Absolutely. This is why Bob Snyder is a genius, and you're going to build all those skills while taking very little risk so that when the real estate shows up, you know what the heck you're doing. This is all about taking back control of your life, getting plugged into what you're doing, getting some support, and then not just keeping it to yourself, showing your family, showing your parents, showing everybody that they can save money in taxes, in banking, they can get into business and real estate. It doesn't matter. Then we wrap it up with build for events. All right, so our next event, blah, 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 blah. Sign up. There's a sign up sheet on your way out. If you would like to be included in our next event, it's going to be this, that, and the other. You're gonna love it. Okay, and then you always got to end on time. So yesterday we told everyone we were doing the workshop from 2 to 4 p.m. So people started showing up at 2. We do the tour till 2:30, and then everyone came into the room that we had all the chairs set up. Happened to be the kitchen. I run that workshop until 4. I actually went till 4:08. And 4:08, people had some questions, and I said, look, we're over time, so we'll be here till 4. So I appreciate everyone for being here. Congrats on spending that time and getting this good information. Remember, always say congrats, not a thank you, or combine it, congrats and thanks. But always, always, always put in the congrats. We're not thanking them. They're thanking us. We're the ones that opened up the house tour. We're the ones that gave them the ideas. So we say congrats on fighting traffic. Congrats on getting up. Congrats on ignoring the distractions to make it here. Not so much a thanks. They need to be thanking us. But then what I said is I released them. And I said, hey, if you want to stay, we'll stay till about 5. If you have any questions, but for those of you that need to go, take off. And about 80% had to go. But we got them all the content, we got them the price, we got them, they can make recommendations and get paid. They know when the next event is, and they signed up on the sign-in sheet. But a good portion, about 6 or 7 people, stayed after for another hour, and that's how we got another sale in the system. So make sure if you say, hey, it's from 2 to 4, you end at 4, and then create a space for people to stay a little bit later, ask questions, and give some enrollments. Okay, Eloy, what point do you show them velocity banking? I thought usually when 4 pillars. I never mentioned earnings, but sounds interesting. Yep. Okay, sorry, I did skip one thing. Thanks, Eloy. So yeah, right before I do the epic and if you've been in Denver, you've seen this. We do this pie chart all the time where we talk about the default versus design and how if you're in the default world, 1/3 of your money goes to taxes, 1/3 of your money goes to interest on debt, and then 1/3 of your money is for your life. But if you design it, like what we're working on here, this is how I'm like opening up the workshop, right? And Mike was on a default life. You heard his story, and he's now designing his life. And we can do 10% taxes, 10% interest, and 80% life, and we don't even need to make more money. We just need to learn a few new things, a few new ways of doing stuff, and it's a design. You don't have to be rich to do this, but if you do this, chances of getting rich go way up. Okay? So that's the first part, Eloy. I said that context. Just this pie chart right here, does this make sense? It's frustrating, right? People are thinking they're going to get ahead in life by cutting out their lifestyle. They hear these stupid pieces of advice. Hey, don't go to Starbucks, brew your own coffee. Hey, don't go to movies, just do Netflix. Hey, don't do this, just settle, settle, settle. That's crappy advice from crappy people. No one rich is saying that. I'm trying to get rich. So instead, what do you think rich people do? Rich people cut out banks, and rich people cut out taxes and the IRS. So we're going to do that. We're going to do what rich people do. Okay, and then I probably said it 5 times throughout the meeting. You don't have to be rich to do this. Right? Because some people are sitting there going, oh my God, this would be great, but my mom's not rich. How's she going to do it? You say, no, no, no. You don't have to be rich to do this, but, and then I raise my volume and emphasize everything right here. But if you do this, chances of getting rich go way up. You just say it matter-of-factly. Hey, look, everybody, for those of you, this might be so brand new. Thinking about banking is so brand new to you. I get it. I was the same way. I was listening to superstitions about how credit cards are risky and you can't this and can't that. I get it. But here's what you have to understand, everyone in the room. You don't have to be rich to do this. And they think the idea is done right there and they go, oh, cool. But if you do this, chances of getting rich go way up. That's why we're talking about it today. So obviously you got to have some good energy in the room because some people are just sitting there staring with their arms crossed going, what the hell is this? And you got to be super stoked. You don't have to be rich to do this, ladies and gentlemen, to go from default to design. You don't. You can do this on any income. You can do this on any income. But if you do this, chances of getting rich go way up. Okay? No promises, no guarantees, no claims. We're talking about chances and ifs, no claims. So we're good there. So, Eloy, to answer your question, the very first few minutes when I have a blank whiteboard, I draw up this default design. I don't write out what I wrote in the blue here. I just say it a couple times. But in the green, what I wrote here, first thing on the board. Then I give them the 4 pillars context: taxes, banking, business, real estate. And I tell everyone, if we had 8 hours, I would go over all 4 of these pillars with you, and you would leave here with a perfect plan and knowing exactly what to do. But we only have 90 minutes together. So in talking with the local team here, I was thinking, what would be the most impactful for you guys here today? And everyone agreed that it is the banking. So would everyone like to learn how rich people do their banking and get out of debt and not have to cut out expenses or make more money to do it? And everyone raised their hand, yeah, show us. So then I just do the truncated version of what all of you have seen me do on a webinar, or you've seen Mitch Nelson do in a workshop, or you come to Denver and seen it. It's the here's your thing. You got a $5,000 month income, right? 5 comes in. We got our checking and we got our savings. Mortgage goes out, car goes out, credit card goes out, lifestyle goes out. Some money goes into savings, right? By the end of the month, it's zero cash flow. What's the difference between loans and lines, right? We got the car, the mortgage, the credit card, lifestyle, savings. Well, what's the problem with savings? They charge you, 6%, and they only give you 1%. That's a 500% return. Those jerks. Not to mention, if we go look at this $200,000 mortgage and we give them 48 payments, it costs $57,000, but it only counted $12,000 in principal. So that means we give them $45,000 in interest. That sucks. Doesn't that suck? Well, what about this credit card? Well, what if, can we take this $5,000, put it in the credit card? If we did that, what would happen? Holy crap, we have it paid off in 6 months. If we do that, what can we do? Oh, we pay off the car. Well, if we do that, the cash flow goes back in, cash flow goes up, we save more money. About 10 minutes of that. Slowly, I'm not going that fast, I write clearer, but you guys have seen me do it a bunch, so I'm not doing it here. And then they're going, holy crap, are you serious? I never thought about it that way. That's incredible. And say, all right, so you see this banking concept? It's incredible. Look, we got this house paid off, just took a handful of years. Now, again, I don't know your income. I don't know your tax rate. I don't know these things, but I'm saying very conservative numbers. Look what happened. Now, where did I learn all this stuff? Because I told you I'm broke as a joke when I first started. Where did I learn all this stuff? I learned it from a company called Vernatus. Has anyone heard of Vernatus? No? Okay. Yes? Okay, cool. Well, here's our next training. It's called Epic. Write this down. And then I go into that. So thank you, Eli, for reminding me to go to the very beginning. So to recap, the host of the deal does their story and a few numbers on the property. I put up default design. I put up the 4 pillars. I say, I wish we had more time to go into it. Which one's going to affect everyone here the most? Okay, let's do our velocity banking. Okay, now where did I learn this? I learned this through this company called Renatus. Let's go through Epic, and I spend, 10, 15 minutes just on Epic. Then I give them the context again. Here's our pillars, but now we'll pay you if you make recommendations. I ask that question, and we build for the next event. Boom, music on, sign-in sheet, and that's a wrap. Some people are putting in orders. Cool. Cool. The only reason I don't use the cash flow quadrant, Eloy, is because it is someone else's. It's copyright. So anything that's copyright, we're not allowed to put into our presentation slide stuff. I mean, no one's going to stop us from scribbling on a whiteboard. You know what I mean? But it's just, we want to own every concept. And so that cash flow quadrant is someone else's concept. But you're right. I mean, you could talk about it all day. I mean, a lot of people use the E-Myth structure as well, right? We're talking about technicians, entrepreneurs, and managers, right? So, I mean, you could talk about that all day. It's just, you get what I'm saying. Splitting hairs at this point. Okay. Now, let's be clear on a few things moving forward, just for some compliance wording. I don't know if you paid attention to my wording, but it's the most compliant wording. So let's point out some things I didn't say, so you don't say them. Notice I used the word recommendation. I made that word, not referral. Okay? We don't do referrals. We don't have a referral program. We don't pay referral fees. Renatus doesn't do referrals. No. Renatus doesn't do referrals. Don't say that word. That's not what we do here. I know it's silly because you're like, well, I was just referring them to the education, or I was just referring them to my 5-star. So I get how English is silly. But in the context of selling Renatus, and especially when we're talking about the earnings plan, don't use the word referral because we don't have a referral program. If you have any questions about that, you can come off mute or type in your question. I want to make sure you guys are leaving clear with this, so when you go out and do your house tour presentations, you're not saying referral 100 times. Okay? So what we're doing is students make recommendations to people they meet about taking Renatus' training. They don't make referrals. Okay? So something else is we don't do commissions. Oh, let me write it in the other color. We don't pay commissions. Okay, so you're not going to say that. You're not going to say Renatus pays out a $10,000 commission, because that's not right. We don't pay commissions. Commissions imply employment, and no one's employed at Renatus. It's a marketer. Okay, so also this is not a business opportunity. Do not put those two words together. Okay, we're not a biz op, not a business opportunity. So don't ask people, hey, are you looking for a business opportunity? Because if you are, go over there. We're not a business opportunity. Okay, we're not a business opportunity. We're not a franchise. Okay, we're not an MLM. Those are all super different things. LaShawn, no, it's not an income opportunity either. Opportunity has too much regulation around that word. Okay, too much laws and regulations, laws and regs around the word opportunity. I know it's silly, so we have to change the word to ability or possibility. Okay, so we have earnings. Okay, no referrals or commissions. We have earnings. I earned 100 grand from Renatus. And you just stop. You wouldn't say I earned 100 grand from Renatus in commissions. That's not correct. I earned 100 grand. Or my earnings from Renatus is 100 grand. Okay, so all in the earnings context. Yes, you got it, Charlene, earnings. Now, business opportunity, no. The word opportunity we're getting away from. Possibility or ability. I know some of you, I can just feel it in the ether right now. Some of you are rolling your eyes and you're like, what the hell? Really? A business possibility versus a business opportunity? What is the difference? Well, the difference is decided by judges in a big, big way. Do you want to be regulated and have someone breathing down your neck, checking every single email, checking everything before you post an ad? Do you want to check it? Do you want to have to submit it a year ahead of time and get business licenses for every single state that you market in? I don't. So I don't engage in business opportunities. But all day, the possibility of growing this business is endless. The ability to grow a business with Renatus. Not a business opportunity with Renatus. The ability to grow a business. Ability to grow a business, the ability to take control, the ability, it's like that. That's right. We're reassociating. We're setting ourselves apart because we're not typical. We're not what most people hear. And so we do need to set ourselves apart. And so let's not use that typical language for two reasons. One, by law, we're not that, so we're not using that language. And two, because we're different, by using different language, people will see that we're different and want to engage with us and stop assumptions. Okay, so we're not a franchise, we're not an MLM. It's a business possibility or a business ability, and we get paid earnings. So that's why instead of, when I'd say, listen, guys and gals, if you need a paycheck next week, and you introduce someone to Renatus and you recommend that they sign up and they follow through, Renatus will pay you an earnings of $1,000 to $10,000. You realize the ability you have to grow a business into any possibility. They go, holy shit, you're right. Okay, so then what are you capable of? So another no is there are no requirements. Okay, nothing is required. Same thing as have to or must. Okay, there's no requirements to spend anything other than the 197. So make sure you're not using requirement type language, right? Hey, you have to pay the $50 next month to watch the webinar, to watch the broadcast. No, 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 no. They don't have to. If you want to watch the class next week on the broadcast, it's $50. Or next week, if you want to come to the workshop, it's $50. But you don't have to pay, okay? In order to attend, you have to pay, but you don't have to attend. So no requirements here except for the 197. So we're just cleaning up a few things. No have-tos, no requirements, no musts, except the 197. Okay. Wanted to put in here the ability to learn to create your own business using the knowledge we get from Renatus for only 197. Boom. Can I use earning possibility together? Yeah. Yep. The earning possibility plan. I'll run it past corporate here in just a few minutes. The earning possibility plan. I like it. But for now, yes, you got a thumbs up. That is corporate and compliant approved for now. I'll go get the 1000% go ahead. But just these few little changes in our language are going to keep us safe. Okay? It's not a big drastic change. If you think about it, it's not that big of a change. It's just now we're getting into specifics, which we're all good at. Specifics. We're real estate investors. We need to read documents and understand specifics. Words mean things. Cool. You guys are awesome. So everyone, come to Salt Lake City, get your teams going today, tomorrow, the next day. Spend all this time building for Super Saturday in Salt Lake. If you're not on the business builder fee and you don't have $50, but you still want to come to Super Saturday, just reach out to me. It's more important that you attend than we get $50 from you. We don't care. We want your face in the room so we can teach you something, so you can go out there and change your life. Not just your life, but your family's life. So come to Super Saturday, get everyone plugged in. Like I said, it's from 9 to 5. We're probably going to end a little bit early, so we don't have to worry too much about eating up the whole day, but we are going to spend a good amount of time on this. How to have fun, how to make more money, and how to do it in less time. It is not going to be a compliant training. Yeah, that's not what I'm coming into Salt Lake for, is to do a compliance training. That's not it at all. I'm doing a training on more fun, more money, less time. What do we need to do to roll up our sleeves and build a business that we can be proud of? Build something you can be proud of. That's what we're working on this Saturday. So whether you've been to 100 Super Saturdays or this will be your first one, you better be there. Build something that you can be proud of. That's what we're working on. Right? Who are these people? Oh, I can't come. I don't have any money. I don't have any time. It's no fun. Bleh. They got it backwards. So help them out. Shake them, slap them, spray them with a water bottle. Get them out of their complaint mode. We don't need that. Okay, so Brian's got a question. Hey, Michael, I saw someone early say that they would pay people for bringing people to the meetings. Is that compliant? No. No. So you got to get something clear. You, as in every one of you watching this webinar and the recording, you don't pay anybody. That's not the pitch. Up front, there's no way. That's context. Renatus will pay them. Okay, so Brian says people are getting. Says I saw someone say that people would pay. That they would pay people for bringing people to the meetings. No, dude. That's somehow in there. If you got all your P's and Q's and your I's and T's crossed and dotted, somehow you could stay compliant with that. But that's kind of messy. It's not really accurate. And plus, it's not for bringing people to the meetings. What, you're going to pay $5 a seat for someone to sit in a meeting? That's not how it works at all. You're not paying to bring people to a meeting. You're getting paid to connect a customer to services. Cool. So Super Saturday in Salt Lake is $50 for the IMA unlimited guests. Guests come for free. It's the intensives where we have an instructor that guests pay. So we're also doing food and we have flights and hotels and all that stuff, right? So yeah, Super Saturday, get everyone in. I'm telling you, if you put a guest into my Super Saturday, chances of them enrolling under you go way, way up. If they've seen any sort of 15-minute webinar, a house tour, a briefing of 4 pillars, if they've been to the follow-up, for sure, if they come to Super Saturday, they're getting involved with us. So put your energy into that this week. Stay focused, build, and we'll see you guys very soon. Thanks for participating in today's training. Make sure your teams get this recording, and thanks, Abby, for setting this up and making it available for everyone. You guys are awesome. We'll catch up with you soon. I got to hop on the pack call now. Bye, everybody. Oh, and thank you for all the fun birthday wishes we got over the weekend. It was awesome. Phone was blowing up like crazy. I'll be reaching out to all of you individually to say thanks. Okay, have a great day. Go be productive. Change somebody's life. Bye-bye.